Welcome to episode 47 of A Week in the Life of a UK Student Reseller. This week, the most important release we'll be going for is the Yeezy Slide, re-releasing in the Pure and Ochre colourway. I know a bunch of stores are getting releases in, and maybe Offspring will be doing first come first serve, so that's definitely the release we're focusing on this week. I expect prices to dip dramatically after the release, but prices to steadily rise again going forward to summer, so definitely on our priority list of targeting sites this week is Offspring if they do drop, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Hopefully we have some other restocks along the way, maybe Supreme will restock the Air Force Ones and we'll be sure to run for them if so. So let's get into this week's episode to see how we get on. Right folks, one package in the mail today, so let's get straight into it. It comes in a red box, which is interesting. I just thought they sent me the wrong shoe, but nevertheless, it must come in this box. It is the Georgetown 85 College Navy Summit White, that's what they're calling it, the Georgetown, in a 6.5, 7.5 US. So let's dive straight into the shoe. First off, as you see, you've got this nice red box, something different and a change. Then you've got this sort of like translucent paper with the Jumpman 23 and the Air Jordan Wings logo. You got that, and then you've got each shoe individually wrapped as well, which is cool. So some nice packaging from Nike, and then we've got the 85 shoe. So seeing this in hand, it actually looks a lot better in hand than I thought it would do. I thought the blue would be a bit duller, but nevertheless the blue definitely pops. Let's dive straight into it. So starting off at the bottom, you've got your navy, or what are they calling it? College navy, we'll call it college navy outsole, and then you've got your 85 midsole. So that's the standard of what they used to do on the 85. So you can see it's kind of got this raise in it which goes down, and then this has got more of a textured effect on the in midsole area. Moving on to the upper 85 model again, so you've got that slightly different construction. You see the shoe slightly slants back on itself, and the Wings logo is embossed, is it? Yeah. No, embossed, yeah. Well, then going through, you've got this beautiful navy upper, stiff leather, but some triple stitching around the toe box and area. Of course, with the 85s, they did use this kind of stiffer leather for performance, and that's why they've chosen to use it again to kind of replicate that feeling. And then it comes with the college navy laces, and then you've got this really cool age midsole, sort of to replicate how the midsole would age over time and oxidize. And then stiff padding up here for the 85 again, and then it's got the size and model number in the inside of the shoe stamped in, like all 85s used to have. And then also on the insole, it's got Jordan rubber, so it's just got Air Jordan rubber code, it's just got the code mold and that sort of thing. It's just got what the original production dates were, so it was March 29 and 82 when they first made this release, which is cool. And of course it's still got the normal QR code as well, but this is just the extra edition that they've put on for this shoe. So really cool, nice design. I'm not sure if it comes with any extra laces, because the OG one didn't, but we can always have that. So yeah, in fact it does come with a pair of navy laces, which is a nice touch. And then you've got that Jordan 85 hang tag, which all Jordans used to come with. So you've got the jumping through the sunrise there, and it just tells you about the Air Jordan model, and it's got the air sole and what kind of performance it's got. But yeah, that is the Georgetown logo. Shout out to Flare Raffles and Don Dapper for this pickup. Only one, sadly, as stock seemed to be on the more limited size. However, due to that factor, prices have seen a slight rise, going for about $320 in the bigger sizes and around $275 in the smaller sizes such as this one. Definitely one of the better 85 colorways that have come out, and the stock seemed to be on the limited side, so I expect that to reflect on prices going forward. I'd say if you can pick up sizes 10 to 12 for under $275 and hold to 1 to 3 months, you should see it reach the prices of the breads that came out, I think it was 2 years ago now. It's around $350, $375, but I don't really see it going above that, as no 85 has gone above that. And even that, with that one, when it was numbered, it was at 500 when it first came out, and then it just keeps on dipping. So I don't think it would go above that. But yeah, I'd stick to bigger sizes, as they seem to be the ones that are performing the best. Again, classic colorway, nice design, great work by Nike on this one. I think it's quite a nice one, so shout out to Jordan Brand. But that is the Georgetown 85 review. Stay tuned for some more updates. Right folks, just got 2 packages in the mail today, so let's dive straight into them. First one up should be from Supreme, so should be the Dunks. The jacket hasn't yet been shipped, but this should be the Dunks, so let's get into it and do a review. So, yep, the Dunks, as you can see, size 11.5 in the Varsity Red colourway. Again, big shout out to Mac for this pair. Without Mac, I wouldn't have hit at all. So let's get straight into it. So, same as the low SB Dunks, you just got that SB Supreme paper, and then diving into the Dunks, let's get into them. So, first off, the quality is actually quite decent. This leather paneling on the back is quite plush. The embroidery is actually quite good as well. If I'm honest, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how good the quality is on the Dunks. I'd say it's on par with the last release. But yeah, no flaws or anything, so that's great. And just a couple stains of glue, but nothing really particular. And then this is actually quite plush, this leather here, which is nice. So let's dive straight into the shoe. As it's an SB, you have got the SB sole, so it's got the wider lines apart, and this one is in a navy colorway. And then we've got the white midsole, and then we've got the red and blue upper. So the red toe box, you've got that contrast against the blue, and then you've got the stitchings of no, and then it's got love heart, and then by any means necessary. It's got the little swoosh on the back, and then a New York, and then the embroidered in white. Coming down, because it's got the SB, it's got a bit of fatter padding on the insole, and then on the back it's got Supreme Team all embroidered as well, and then it's just got your classic Supreme world famous hang tag, and then Sup on the tongue. Again, as I said, pleasantly surprised by this shoe. I sold it on release day for £300, which I'm pretty pleased about. I thought it would be around 200, but 300 was quite surprising. Due to the amount of stock as well, I was quite surprised Supreme London were letting people in without a registration in, and they were still able to go in around like 3 o'clock. They still had loads of pairs left over, so it definitely must have been on the higher stock than the previous release. However, the previous release of Dunks we only got online due to COVID, but as I predicted, the Brazil colourway has outperformed the black and the navy. However, the black and navy, not too far behind at all, only around 30 to 50 depending on size and colourway behind. I think best size was like a size 14, it's going for like 350 or something. That was the highest bid when I last checked. But nevertheless, definitely some good profit in this, more than I expected. In terms of hold or sell predictions, I think this is not one you want to be holding, just due to the fact that everyone was trying to go for them on release day, and so many people got the manual as well. So I think prices have now stabilised with more people got in their pairs. Today I think it's dipped to around 250, something around there, depending on what size. But yeah, as I said, Brazil, best colourway. Wouldn't recommend holding. If you are going to hold pairs, I'd recommend 10.5 and above, or 10.5 and above to 12. And you're looking about a 6 to 12 month hold. If you see it still going down like within 3 weeks, I would just sell and reinvest it, because as we saw with the previous dunks, when people started getting their pairs in, it just started to rise straight away, and within a week it was around 900, 850, and that was its peak. So this dunk hasn't followed the similar trend. We've got pairs in today and we've already seen a dip in price, so I just think it will just continue to dip and then steady out around maybe the 220, 250 range. That's just my prediction, so I will not be buying into these. I'll be buying into other dunks and GS mids at the moment, but nevertheless, very nice job by Supreme and Nike on this one. Shame it's a dunk high, because if it was a dunk low again, we would have made numbers on this, but nevertheless, that is the Supreme by Enemies dunk in the red navy colorway. Next up, we've got one from Pro Direct, so let's get into it. Fine this time. This one is a size 7 Army Navy, so they restocked on Pro Direct with Elite Access. Seen it so many times on the channel, don't need to go in depth about it, but that's just another quick pickup. Shout out to Rose Scripts for this one. I was in queue. Once I passed queue, the script ran flawlessly, carted and checked out within seconds. So big shout out to Rose Scripts and Mech for these 2 pickups. But that's all the pickups we got in today. Stay tuned for some more updates. Right folks, so Supreme is rumoured to release the Air Force Ones again today at 4. They did restock in the London store at 11, so they should restock about 4. We got about 30 minutes till the drop, so just gonna run Mech, Cyber and Rogue Script, so let's get into it. Right, should be going live in about 10 seconds, so let's get into it. Just running, oh, got one, got loads. Duplicate. Right guys, so that's the drop about fitted with. Big shout out to Mech for the 10 piece, all base sizes in 5.5 US 6, which I'm pretty happy about. Only 1 duplicate order, and that's alright. We managed to hit half our profiles, which is pretty good on a restock. Usually on general releases, they're usually a bit lower stock than the first release of the season, so I'm pretty happy to hit that. Shout out to Ignified Proxies for the resis for this drop, and Calibre for the DCs. But yeah, that's all we got on the Mech drop. Should be going in store with Supreme this week, as we did get a slot with Cyber. Shout out to Cyber. So let's see what happens. Right folks, just 1 package in the mail today, so let's get straight into it. Right, so diving straight into it, it is a Yeezy Slide, pure off the restock. This one is in a size 14, so a very good size, money size, but a bit harder to move in this country. But I think it'd be fine on consignment or go or somewhere like that. But definitely seems to be harder for me to get a pair yesterday. So let me see if they've changed anything. Let me see if they changed anything on the restock pair. No, so this is the 3rd restock of the Pure Slides, and this one is the same as the previous restock with the slightly textured design and a bit thicker foam. Nevertheless, I think most sizes have dropped to around £100. They were selling at 160, which I moved all my pairs, 4 pairs from last release, all about 2 weeks ago now, so just in time for the restock. To buy in more pairs. But yeah, this is the Pure Slide in a size 14. Massive shout out to Raffle High for this win. I've been using it a bit recently. I've just recently started using it, and their module seems to be great. Managed to hit me 1 pair right off the rip. First time entering using their module. Seemed to be pretty smooth. Not really any flaws in the module. Just takes time to get the entries in. Nevertheless, big shout out to Raffle High for this pair. That is all we got in today. Sadly, only 1 pair. Didn't get any Ochre slides, but they seem to be very bricky at the moment, running you around 65 to 70, so only £5–10 profit. Nevertheless, hold or sell predictions on these ones. So definitely would recommend buying every Pure Slide sizes 11 to 14 and 7. Next week, at around £90. Hold until 2 to 3 weeks before the next restock and you should make around £50 per slide. But that is what I'll be doing, and these are the Pure slides. These are the ones I recommend buying. Don't buy into the Ochres, they just don't really move that well. I found I had like 3 pairs of them before, they very slow movers for me. The Pures, we're getting a lot more traction and demand for them. Nevertheless, it's a shame we weren't able to get the Onyx in this region. They did release on US and prices are zoinks on those, but nevertheless I hope they restock or release in the future. We do have Adidas Oreo 350 V2s coming out on Saturday, so hopefully we can pick up a pair maybe in store to showcase for you guys, so definitely stay tuned. But that's all for now. Thank you folks so much for watching this week's episode. Pretty successful outcome. We were able to secure a Pure side in a money side. Shout out to Raffle High for that pair. And then Mech managed to cook us the 10 Air Force Ones. Hopefully they'll come in all next week and be able to showcase them on the channel for you guys. But next week is looking really good. We got Supreme Burberry rumoured to release, which will definitely be targeting, trying to go in store and take you along for with us. Then we got Sakai Vapor Waffle releasing in the white with gun bottom and black with gun bottom as well. We've also got slides releasing in the sand and mist colourways, so definitely some great releases coming up for next week, and we'll be sure to run for them. So stay tuned for the next episode to see how we get on.